Hi, everyone, and welcome to Thrive Yoga and Wellness and Thrive Online. And today we are going to get started with a nice Yin Yang class. So if you have a bolster, go ahead and put it on your mat crosswise to the mat. And we are going to put this kind of in the mid part of your back so that your head can rest comfortably on the ground. And we're really getting into that thoracic region, less supportive like chest. It will open up your chest, but this becomes a little bit more of an intense back bend, maybe. So if you've done a lot of core in the last couple days, you may feel this. And if it's too much for your head to be kind of here in the mid back, you can grab a block to put it underneath your head. You're going to settle in here and relax in this very, very, very interesting heart opening, stomach and belly opening posture. Your legs can do whatever feels good to you. So if out long feels good, go for that. If feet together, knees apart feels good to you, go for that. We're just trying to relax right now and open up. In yin, it's not like you're trying to build the heat. In fact, you kind of want it to be cold so the connective tissue will get going. So you don't have to think about the yoga breath, that ujjayi breathing, as much in yin. You're just trying to breathe maybe into that equal parts inhale, hold, exhale. Sometimes heart openers can elicit a lot of strong emotions, can make you want to fly away, make you want to fight. Something that I've found that tends to help me be calmer in these kind of trying postures is to think about the places where my body is touching the ground. So the space where the back of my head is pressing into the mat, the way the ground feels underneath the back part of my hand, all the way up to my elbow. Maybe how it feels with my heels on the mat, toes flopping out, how the ground feels so sturdy. All the way up from my calves to the hamstrings, into my glutes. Relaxing open the hips ever so slightly. Feel the pillow on your back, how it's helping to support the weight of the whole world right now. Let the pillow hold that weight. Don't let your chest hold the weight. Don't let your shoulders hold that weight. Give it to the pillow. Continue to breathe. What else can you give to the ground or the pillow? Whatever's not serving you. Any thoughts that keep coming in, let them float into the mat beneath your head. With your body giving up all of the extra weight, all of that baggage, and your heart and your chest open to the sky, what can you receive? with your mind emptying of all the worries and the negatives and the doubt. What can you fill it up with? As we relax into this posture, notice the places that start to tense up. For me, it's right here in the upper part of my chest. Speak to that spot. Whisper nice things to it. Like, it's okay. Let it open. From here, we're going to take those hands overhead. Feel how your shoulder rotates in the socket. You can leave the backs of the hands on the mat. Feel how that intensifies the stretch. I feel it even into my forearms, triceps, under my arms, into my lats. This can be very uncomfortable, this particular position, because it's so vulnerable. But you're safe right now. The ground has you. The pillow has you. The earth has you. You're not alone. See if you can relax that spot that keeps balling up. Breathe to any spaces that come up. Breathe into any thoughts. Few more breaths here. From here, start to bend those elbows. Bring those hands close to your heart center. Maybe spend a moment in gratitude or setting an intention for your practice, for your day, or maybe in prayer. And when you are ready, we'll roll over and come up to a seated position. We're going to take that pillow with us, or that bolster, plant it on top of the legs, and let's just do one quick, we won't make this a true yin posture, we'll counter to that heart opening and come into a nice forward fold. Go slowly, because we did just open up a lot in the chest. Let your head relax. Breathe into the spots that may have talked to you while you were stretching it. Continue that internal dialogue. It's safe. It's okay. It's relax. Let go. And when you are ready, we'll come up slowly, remove that pillow, that bolster. Bring those knees into your chest. You ladies asked to work, so let's get our core nice and warmed up. Plant those feet onto the mat about hips width distance apart. You can grab hold of your inner thighs. I love to grab hold of them and twist them in. That helps to internally rotate the hips. And you can hang out right here, chin slightly tucked, spine is straight, or you can let go of those thighs, or you could raise one or both feet. Trying to get those shins close to parallel and holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap that right foot down. Bring it back up. Left foot down, up. We're doing for 5. Up. There's 2. Here's 3, 4, and 5. Sit up. Squeeze those knees. Woo! Cross one foot over the other, coming over to your hands and knees, and then move through a couple of rounds of your cat-cow. Moving with your breath here. We're now into the movement portion of this Yin Yang class. So this is when we start to think about that ujjayi breathing, that in through the nose, out through the nose. Start to move in a way that feels good to you. Maybe that's side to side. Maybe that's barrel rolls. And then when you are ready, we're going to come right back to warming up the core. Come to your forearms. You can stay here on your knees by sliding the knees back, holding out a plank here on your knees. Or if you'd like, you can roll over those toes and hold the plank here for 5 minutes. I'm just kidding. Remember, energy out through those heels. Push back through the heels. Keep your bottoms down. Tailbone's tucked a lot. Feel how that engages the core even more as you tuck the tailbone down. Try to squeeze the glutes and the quads as we push those heels back. Puff up the space between the shoulders for 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down to the belly. Say a little prayer of thanks. Keeping those palms and the forearms pressed into the mat. Let the chest open up here into a nice little cobra pose. Feeling the stretch across the chest. If you want to deepen this, you can come into a seal pose. Opening up across the heart, building some heat into the back. This should not be painful in the back. If you feel pain in your low back, tilt your tailbone down a little bit more. Press your pubic bone into the mat even more. If you notice, the curve of your low back will go away just a little bit the more you tuck that tailbone down and press the pubic bone in. Lift the chest, and then come all the way down. Press the forehead into the mat. Bring your hands in front of your head and make a little diamond. Those hands are going to stay planted on the mat with the forehead. And on the inhale, with your forehead pressed into the mat, we're going to just lift the hands and the elbows and hold. Working the traps, those back muscles. Holding it here for 5, 4, elbows up, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Now, you can leave your forehead down. Often if we leave the forehead down, that disengages the upper traps, which tend to be chronically tight. You can try this time lifting the forehead up with the hands and see if you can tell a difference. Inhale, head up, hands up. Do you feel discomfort in your shoulders? Do you feel discomfort in your neck? Slightly tuck the neck just a bit for 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Maybe you windshield wiper those legs if you need it. Now, whichever one felt better to you, because remember, yoga is supposed to feel good. We're going to do this one more time. So if you want, you can leave your forehead pressing into the mat, just lifting the hands, or you can lift everything. On your next inhale, lift for 5, 4, 3. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. 2, 1. Squeeze those elbows into your body, lifting everything up here. Chest is up. Chin is still tucked. Squeezing those elbows into your body. Now lift the legs. Channel your inner little mermaid for 5 more. 4 more. Press the pubic bone into the mat. 3 more. 2, 1. Bring everything down to the mat. Windshield wiper those legs, really building some heat into the back body. This is great for that entire posterior chain. Now, fingertips in line with the chest. Elbows pressing into the body. Plug those knees and the toes into the mat. Now pretend there's a 2x4 on your back. It's going to touch your back the whole way as you push yourself up and go to downward facing dog. I am so glad you guys can't hear how much I pop every time I do this. Gaze at your belly button or between your knees, whatever feels good. Pressing those heels into the mat. We're going to take that left hand to the right ankle, gazing at the right underarm. Feeling a nice gentle twist, an intensified stretch on the right calf. Releasing this twist, let's do that on the other side. I chose a bad shirt today. Releasing this, we're going to take our hands back to our feet. Bend the knees a whole bunch to relax the low back. Clasp opposite elbows and sway side to side. Coming to stillness here, let the arms just hang heavy, and we're going to slowly roll up. 1 vertebra at a time. The slowest one wins. Feel the spots that feel sticky and breathe. Tell them it's safe. Tell them to relax. When you come all the way up to standing, reach those hands up high. And then exhale, go ahead, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk those hands back to plank. Now we're going to hold this plank here, or we can do shoulder taps. So we're either going to hold the plank or take right hand to left shoulder, set it down. Left hand to right shoulder, set it down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job, downward facing dog. Shimmy that left foot a little bit closer to midline. Bring that right foot forward, coming into your very first crescent lunge. Option number 1, left knee keeps planted as we reach our hands up high. Option number 2, plug the toes in and come to the full expression of the posture. Keep that right knee bent a whole bunch. Really trying to feel this activating into the right glute. Sink into that knee a little bit more for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that left hand, plant it down on the mat on the inside of that right foot. Reach the right hand up in the opposite direction of the left hand. See if you can bend that right knee even more, since not all the weight is on that right butt cheek. Feel that nice stretch along the left hip flexor. Maybe take that right hand to the low back. See if that helps intensify the twist as that right knee hugs into your left boob. 1 more. Beautiful job, guys. Bring that right hand down to the mat. Take that right foot back. Take your vinyasa or hold plank or go straight to down dog. All good things must happen to both sides. So we're going to take that right foot a little bit closer to midline. Bring that left foot forward. Again, we can plant the right knee and come up to this low lunge. Or if you want a little bit more intensity, plug those right toes in. Coming into the full expression of your crescent lunge. Crescent warrior. Bending into that left knee. Relaxing even here. Shoulders down and away from your ears. Oh, yeah, I saw that. That looked like it was relaxing. For 3, 2, 1. Take that right hand down to the mat. Bringing that left hand up towards the sky. Remember, try to keep that left knee in close to the right shoulder. It's going to intensify that twist. The deeper into that left knee you bend into it, really deepens the stretch for the right hip flexor. Energy out through that right heel as we take the left hand behind our back. See if it can twist a little deeper. Bringing that left hand back and around. Take your vinyasa. Good job, guys. One more breath. On your next inhale, you're going to walk those hands back to your feet again. Feet are going to stay about hips width distance apart. Since you've got your phones nearby and you're looking, let's go ahead and bend the knees and bring your bottoms to where they are straight in line with your knees. Sit low. All right, you can leave your hands right here on the ground if you want. It's a little bit less intense. We're going to build some heat right now as we come up to a super low chair. Holy cow. Have you guys ever done a chair this low? Keep your knees pressing out. We don't want them to collapse in. We're going to hold this for 5, 4. Press those knees out. 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands to the ground. Straighten the legs. Say a little prayer. Hallelujah. That was good. I think we should do it again. Inhale here, and on the exhale, we're going to sit down into that little kindergarten chair. Bottoms straight out from the knees. Suck the bellies in a whole bunch. Bring those hands. Maybe they can come to your heart center for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holy cow. Straighten the legs. Forward fold. Grab hold of your big toes with your peace fingers and pull down. Padangustasana. Let the head go. Chin tuck slightly. Oh, man. I love it when I can get like a little chiropractic adjustment in these forward folds. All right. On the next inhale, we're going to start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Our bottoms are nice and warm now. Our core is nice and warm. Let's see what happens as we try to balance. That's kind of the secret ingredient for a good, strong balancing practice is strong glutes and strong core. Let's go ahead. We're going to ground down. I hit the right leg even though I meant the left. Ground down through the left foot. We're going to take that right foot and cross over the left leg like a figure 4. Now, especially if you've got a wall or something nearby, sit in the chair. Nice. You feel the stretch along the right butt cheek? This is like a pigeon on steroids, I feel like. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1. Good balance, ladies. Come on out of this. Shake it out. Let's do that on the other side. Remember, the softer the surface, the harder this is. So if you are on carpet, I'm sorry. Take that left foot across the right, like figure 4. Keep that left foot flexed to protect the knee. Now sit down in that little chair like we did earlier. You'll notice I'm not quite as low as I was in the chair. That's okay. Don't forget to breathe. Maybe smile. I remember being in classes when teachers would cue smiling and I would want to like beat them up. Super yogi. For 3, 2, 1. Come on out of this. Oh, Shake it out. We're going to love triangle now, right? Because our hips are so open. We just don't want to be in any sort of chair, so we know what's coming. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, coming out to your plank. Just so you know, this is not at all what I practiced. I had a plan. That plan went out the window. We're just going with it. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. We're going to bring that right foot in between the hands. Left heel is going to plant down at the back of the mat. Left toes facing the front left corner of the mat. Bend that right knee a whole bunch as you come into your warrior one. To follow along the theme of a heart opener, take those hands around and behind. Pull them down and away from you. Feel the nice stretch across the chest. Maybe you gaze up. Don't forget to breathe. Releasing those hands, open up warrior two. Sink down through that tailbone, sink into that right knee, shoulders down and away from the ears. Straighten that right leg, shift the hips back, bring the hands forward into your triangle pose. Try not to lock out your right knee. Two more. Last one. Go ahead, bring your left hand down to the mat. Bring your right hand inside the right foot. Step the left foot forward. Come into your Malasana squat. See if it feels different on the right hand side versus the left hand side. I know my right side is like, yeah, whatever. My left side's like, oh, forget this noise. If you want to practice crow, go for it. If you don't want to practice crow, you can also do a really cool twist. I'm going to go towards the left first. I'm going to plant the left hand down to the outside of that right foot, reach my right hand up towards the sky, or maybe reach it around and behind me, opening up across the chest and twisting as well. I like to keep the chin slightly tucked in my twist to protect the neck. Releasing this little heart opening twist and go over to the other side. Right hand plants in front of and just outside of that right foot. Left hand reaches up towards the sky, or if you want more, internally rotate that left shoulder and maybe see if you can reach it for the right inner thigh or maybe the right hand. This is a modification of a pose called Pashasana. Releasing this, we're going to plant both hands onto the mat, lift the hips up. Whoa. Go ahead and shimmy that left foot towards the midline. Take the right foot back, planting it at a warrior one position. Bend that left knee a whole bunch. We skipped a vinyasa. You're welcome. Come into warrior one. I thought you might have wanted to skip to vinyasa after those Malasana squat twists. We're going to take those hands around and behind us, pull them down and away. Feel the beautiful stretch across your chest, maybe across your core. We hold so much crap in our hearts, our chest, our shoulders. Let that crap go, because that's what it is. And then open up, warrior two. Reach the hands in opposite directions. Sink into that left foot. We're almost done with this. Straighten that left leg. Shift the hips back. Bring the hands forward, coming into your triangle pose. Don't forget to breathe. Soften that left knee. One more breath. All right, we're going to bring those hands back to the mat. Shimmy that left foot out to the side just a little bit. Let's revisit Malasana pose one more time. See if it feels any different. I might be one of those weird people that likes Malasana. I have a friend who's Vietnamese, and she says that her family eats like this. And we have this conjecture that that's why they're skinny, because you could never overeat if you were eating a Malasana squat, right? I know I couldn't. All right. Breathing here. I think we could do one more small flow, don't you? All right. Take your hands out and point them like a non-violent Charlie's Angel gun. Squeeze your butt cheeks and press those knees out. Don't let your knees collapse in. So keep pressing them out so you can keep the glutes nice and engaged, and try to come up straight. Don't lean forward, okay? So inhale, say a little prayer. Exhale it all out, and then let's come up. Beautiful job, guys. Shake it out. Woo! I had to get out of my hips a little bit. We're going to ground down through that right foot. Bring your left foot up like in tree on your calf, or all the way up onto your right inner thigh. Suck your belly in a whole bunch. Bring your hands to your heart center and see if you can remember the gratitude that you felt at the beginning of class, or that intention. I seldom cue setting intentions or gratitudes, but I feel like today, this season, we need to be always thinking about something we're grateful for. Let's bring that left knee forward with a bent knee, shin straight out from the knee, holding it here for 5. Little bit of core work. 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift that left foot back. Maybe that foot never touches as you come into airplane pose. Push that left foot into the imaginary wall. Really, really stretch between the toes. For 3, 2, 1. Go ahead slowly with control. Drop that left foot down at the back of the mat. Straighten the right leg and come into a beautiful pyramid pose. Hamstring stretch. That should feel pretty good from all that balance, maybe. Balance is awesome booty work. One more. All right, let's bring that left foot forward to meet righty. Slowly roll up. And we must do all things on all sides. Shake it out. I have to rinse that side out. That side was, I had some thoughts coming up. We're going to release them here as we come into our tree on the left. So ground down a whole bunch through the left foot. Right foot can be kickstand, up on the calf, or high into the inner thigh. Just don't let it be on the knee. That's the most important thing. One of the secrets that I remember being taught when I was newer was that right foot is pressing into the left foot every bit as much as if it was pressing into the ground. As soon as that energy started coming together, my tree started growing roots, and I was able to start growing branches. So try pressing that right foot into the inner thigh a little bit more. See if it steadies you. Shoulders away from the ears. As we bring that right knee forward, releasing the foot from the leg, as the shin comes straight down from the knee. Hands back to your heart center. Transition through airplane pose. Or warrior 3. Right foot is pressing into the imaginary wall behind you. Really squeeze the right butt cheek for 3, 2, 1. Softening that left knee. Set that right foot down at the back of the mat. Straightening the left leg. Come into your pyramid pose. Two more. One more. Soften that left knee. We're going to bring our left foot back to meet right. And we're going to do a little bit more work before we go back to yin. Plant those knees down on the ground. We're going to get some upper body strengthening happening. So you can leave the toes plugged into the mat, or you can reach them up. Shift the hips down so your hips, knees, shoulders are all in one line. Hug the elbows close to the mat. We're going to do 5 chaturanga push-ups. So elbows stay in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up, child's pose. This next round, what we're going to do is more triceps, fingertips pointing in. 5 of those on your knees. Remember to try to keep everything like a 2x4 was on your back. So when you're ready, bringing those fingertips pointing inward. If you want to, you can make a diamond like we did at the beginning of the class with the thumb and the pointer fingers. If that's too much, bring your hands further apart and just slightly turn them in. This is working on that granny wave. You all know what I mean? So sink the hips down. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. Child's pose. Now we're going to get a little bit more into the shoulders, and it's also into the triceps. We're going to try to do 8 of these. They're called dolphin push-ups. So when you're ready, inhale, coming here. Bring those forearms down to the mat, palms down if you can. You can stay here on your knees and just bring your nose forward. That's a little bit less intense. More intense is up on your toes, inhaling, and bring your nose down toward your thumbs for 8. And 7, 6, keep the belly in, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hallelujah. Come all the way down to your belly. Aren't you glad we're at the yin portion now? Maybe, I hope. Take your hands out wide to a T. And we're going to flop. I shouldn't say flop. We're going to press that left hand into the mat, sliding it closer to the midline. Bring that left foot up and over the body. Let the right ear, right side of the head land on the ground. And do this nice chest stretch. Now, if you've been practicing yoga for a while, or if you've been coming to yin and doing all of this stuff for a while, and you've always had your arms straight out, I welcome you to try it a slightly different way. When your arm is straight out to a T, this is more of like a pec major stretch. But if you come back to your belly and bring your arm back more close like a Y, like if you were doing your YMCA. So we were like a T. Then if we bring our hand out more like a Y, and then try that same posture again, see if you notice a difference. Whichever one speaks to you loudest, stay there for the next 3 minutes. Y'all feeling it? I'm feeling it. Whew. Breathe into that spot that's talking to you. As thoughts creep in, go ahead and acknowledge them like the clouds that they are, just passing through. Sometimes I'm like, that's a nice thought. I'll deal with you later. And let it keep on passing. See if your hips start to open up a little bit more. See if your body opens up a little bit more. We're more than halfway there. We're almost done. Let's do this another 8 breaths. After your 8th exhale, roll back over to your belly. Be nice about it. Slide your elbow down closer to your body. Maybe wiggle, jiggle that shoulder a bit. Oh. And then we're going to take that left arm out wide to a T. We're going to experience the stretch that is with it out wide to a T. And then if you want to try with your arms more like in the YMCA position, oh, my right arm feels like jello right now. You roll back to your belly. This is all about chest openers today. Out wide to a T, like an R, oh my gosh, a Y. And then you roll over. Oh, this is definitely my tighter side. Sometimes people get really emotional in heart openers, hip openers and heart openers in general. So if you start to feel some emotions coming up, especially since everything is so tense right now, go ahead and honor them for what they are. They're true to you right now. I don't tend to cry and get that kind of emotional with yoga poses. I tend to get angry, which probably says something about something somewhere. And so for me, I'm sitting here thinking, it's okay, calm down. Couple more breaths here. Last one. Rolling back over towards your belly slowly with control. Bring the elbow closer into the body. Maybe softly move through that shoulder girdle. Oh. And let's do one more shoulder upper back stretch. You can grab your block or your bolster. We're going to put it at the front of the mat, and we're going to put our elbows onto the block, and we have some options. I'm going to do this kind of from puppy pose because that's a little bit better of a stretch. You don't have to do it from puppy pose, but you bring your elbows to your bolster or your block, and you just sink in. Does that make sense? So it's like a puppy pose. I've also seen it done more like supine, but that one doesn't do as much. For me, you have to have your block up a little higher. So you could be flat on your belly. I'm just not a belly person. It hurts my back to be on my belly, so I'm going to come back up to puppy pose. Y'all feeling that along the triceps? You can do this puppy pose without a block. Slowly, gently coming out of this pose. Bringing those elbows closer to the body. Forehead can go ahead and press into the mat like a nice child's pose. I know that wasn't 3 minutes, but it was still a good stretch. We're going to push ourselves up ever so slightly. And let's do one hip opener before we close off. So it's not going to be pigeon. Sorry, I know that seems sort of sacrilegious in a yin yang class or a yin class. We're going to come to seated. If you want, grab your bolster. And definitely grab your block if your external rotation is a little tight. We're going to take that right foot and cross it over the left leg like we did in that standing posture. So it's not like a half lotus unless you really want it to be. It can just be in that figure 4 pose. You can take that block and put it underneath your right knee to support it. And then you can bring your bolster on top of everything and lay down. Now, if you don't feel anything here, you can remove the block from underneath the right knee, or you can come closer into a half lotus pose on the right. You guys feeling stuff? This way you get the external rotation of the right hip with the hamstring stretch of the left hip. And it allows me to be my contrarian self and not do pigeon. keep relaxing. Coming back to the breath. Less than a minute to go. Alrighty. Let's come up and do that on the other side. Otherwise, you'd walk in circles for the rest of the day. So extend that right leg out. Maybe you love on that hip just a little bit. Bring that left leg up and over. This is definitely my tighter side. I'm going to rest my left knee on the block to support it. If your knee is like dangling out in space, your body's going to have a harder time just letting go. So I like to make sure it's supported. I'm going to bring that bolster up and over and lean onto it. And then just breathe. Y'all okay? Good. Just a few more moments here. Try to relax your neck a little bit. Relax the upper back. The shoulders down and away from the ears. We created so much space in the chest and in the upper back today. Let's keep that space there. Move the relaxation down to your sacrum. Through your glutes. The hammies of the outstretched leg. Calves. And let any of that tension, let it float off the right big toe like a butterfly. When you are ready, you'll start to push yourself up. Grab whatever equipment that you need to have a comfortable shavasana. I'm going to put a bolster underneath my calves, blankets if you're chilly. And then come into your final resting pose. This is the most important posture of your entire day. So don't jip yourself out of this fabulous pose. You guys are welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. You deserve it. But I thank you for coming. I hope you had fun. Y'all go in peace. Namaste.